Hi guys, so today I am talking to you about another blog that I did, I don't know when, a year ago, two yet, who cares? Anyways, I did another blog one time, or a blog one time, where I was talking in it about why should people get a book or read a book when they have Netflix or whatever. I mean, there's so many channels available to us now, there's so much in television, there's so much content, why would you sit down and try to read a book? Because a lot of people don't like reading books. They find that and I like reading books, but it is time consuming, and it, I tend to read at nighttime when I'm already been up and doing a million things all day. So if if most people are like me, they're probably tired, and it's hard to concentrate, and then they can't get far in the book, and it takes forever to read. And so I get that. I get that. Um, I think there's something very different that can be offered from a book that you can't get Netflix, or I shouldn't say Netflix, television in general, movies in general, because as a viewer you can watch things. The actors, there's a lot of pressure on actors, I would think, to really display their emotions well and kind of get a lot across to the viewer. Whereas a book, you're kind of inside the protagonist's head and you experience their thoughts and their ideas. And sometimes you can dig a little deeper that way rather than seeing, say, somebody's upset about something, you might see them crying. And, like, again, if there's an actor performing, well, obviously there's an actor performing it, but if there's an actor performing it, there's a lot of pressure on them to really get across how upset they are. And I'm thinking that would be very difficult. And if you're reading a book, however, you have a lot more room to work with. So you can really kind of dive into not only their emotional state, but maybe their thoughts. So, say something terrible happens, not only are they crying or upset or angry, throwing things, whatever that can be done physically in a program or a movie or whatever, in a book you can kind of get into more of the emotional side, the thought process. What are they thinking? Is their thoughts going a mile a minute? Are they what are they thinking of? Is it connected to something that's happened in their past? What are their worries? What are their fears? And so you dive more into the thought process of the character. You kind of learn about them a lot more. Whereas if you're watching something, you have to observe them very carefully. And again, it has to be a very good actor. We've all watched shows where maybe we questioned some of the acting or didn't like some of the acting. And not that I'm an actress, and not that I have ever done anything like that. So I'm not one to complain. It looks very challenging. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure put on the actor to really get all that across, and I don't. But even then, there's only so much you can do. So I think that that's probably one of the benefits, and you can also kind of learn more about the backstory of the character. You kind of get a little deeper in, I think a lot of people get frustrated when I watch a movie after they've read the book, or vice versa, and it's not the same. But it's two very different things, so you can't really do things the same. And even with my books, the way I write them, I know if I had to translate them into a script, I would do it very differently. Um, it's a very visual thing, so you kind of have to keep that in mind, and also dialogue. I think my dialogue would stand up for something in a television show or a movie, but just sort of the way I would arrange things. And chapters would probably, they'd be broken into scenes. It would be very different. And maybe things added to make it more dramatic or visually appealing. So anyways, that's why I know a lot of people complain, and I have too. And I've watched a movie. Actually, I've done both. I've watched something and then read the book and not liked it, or vice versa. There's one show in particular, I better not say that, I might narrow it down. There's something I won't say show, there's something that I have watched that I really like, and then I tried to read corresponding books and did not like it at all. And I've done the opposite, where I've read something and then try to watch the movie. And I think this is very common where people will read the book, go to watch the movie, and be like, oh. But not always. I mean, I read, for example, The Help, which I love the book, saw the movie. To me, it held up. Now, that's just me. Maybe some people wouldn't agree, but I think it did. I mean, and there's been other things I've watched also where I've read the book, and I've been quite impressed by how they managed to translate it from one form of media to the other, because it's not easy. Yeah, so I don't know if that answers that question. Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, there are benefits to both. There's benefits to watching something on television. There's benefits to going to the theater and watching something, and there's benefits to books. It just depends on what you kind of want to experience and what you want to get out of the. And also with a book, you are, and this is just sort of an afterthought I should have mentioned before. You can kind of imagine your own details. So if I'm describing a really handsome man, your idea of a handsome man and my idea of a handsome man may be very different. So you can kind of picture what you want. Or if I say, they walked into this beautiful house, it was bright and this, you can kind of see it how you want to see it. And I kind of like, when I'm writing, I like to kind of leave that open. So I don't go into too many details like their house was like this and that and that and this and, kind of, which I know some people like, and some people might think I'm being lazy because I don't overdo it in the details. But I kind of like the reader to kind of envision what suits them, what they feel. When I describe, again, like a beautiful house, a beautiful man, a beautiful woman, whatever, see that person how you want to see them. I think that's part of what makes the reading experience more fun. Like I can think of an example I won't get into, but there was one particular book turned movie that I know people have commented on the actors they chose for the characters and kind of were not happy, but that's because, of course, in their mind they had a vision of what that character should look like. So then the actor comes on, it's like, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking someone more this. That's part of it. Your imagination kind of takes hold a little bit, which is good. That's what I want when I'm writing, and I'm sure that's what other writers want too. I think that pretty much answers the question. I've talked a lot. I've been like 7 minutes in. Anyway, have a great day, guys. If you ever have ideas for future video blogs, please feel free to contact me, or just go check out my website, Mima on Fire. You'll see some articles there, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, social media. Find me on social media, Mima on Fire. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.